is so fun, I'm not gonna lie, sitting here looking at these piles of stuff that I've made. It is really fun. So you know what? Cheers to that. I may be all over the place, but there's a reason. It's because of this cuddle puddle of knitting over here. All right, next up. Wine with a little fiber. All right, here we go. Hi everyone, my name's Leslie Ann. All my friends like to shorten it to LA, and I really hope that you and I become friends, and so please do feel free to call me LA. Welcome to the first episode of Purls with a Twist. A little bit about me. Originally from Portland, Oregon. About 7 years ago, my husband and I were living on our sailboat, and we decided to sail up north a little ways, so we are now located in the San Juan Islands. We were supposed to be in Anacortes, Washington for 1 year. 1 year quickly turned into 7. Now we have a home. We have 2 dogs, we've made friends. Anyways, as far as my knitting is concerned, because I know you all are not here to hear about my boring history, so as far as my knitting is concerned, I have tried and failed to pick up knitting 3 times prior to this venture. The first time was when I was around 10 years old, and my mom picked me up a set of needles and some yarn, and we sat down and we knit up some cute little basic scarves. Let me forewarn you, this was a long time ago, long time ago. As I said, I was 10. I have no idea what yarn this was. I do know that this is all stockinette stitch, but I do not know what yarn this is. I can tell you, however, that I do still, to this day, absolutely wear this scarf. I love this little scarf. It's so cute. It goes really well with like a lightweight shirt or a t-shirt and like a little jean jacket or a cute little leather coat. I love it. 38 years later, I'm still wearing it. Yes, I did just date myself. Also explains why I'm not going to be wearing the scarf very long, because I do have moments of getting rather hot for some strange reason. That time it did not stick. About, I don't know, 8 or 9 years later, we tried it again. This time we went with a little bit more of an exciting scarf. Yes, you got it. Another scarf. Come on, doesn't this sound familiar? So this is a little bit different. This is more of an artsy yarn. Again, don't know the yarn. I'm really sorry. We did step things up a little bit, and we included some pearls and some yarn overs. Ooh. I love this yarn, and I love it even more so now that I also am a spinner, which we will dabble in a little bit, but not too much, I promise. I'm trying to learn how to make all these fun little artsy yarns. And you got it right. I wear this scarf all the time still too. I love this scarf. It's so fun. It's so boho chic. I don't know if you can tell there's a theme. Yeah, so love this one. Most importantly, I absolutely adore the memories I have with my mom making this. So yeah, there's just something special about that. Again, shocker, it did not stick. Shocker. It's a nice wine. So next up, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, after we first moved up here to Anacortes, I met a lovely lady who also lived on our sailboat, and she was big into knitting. She talked me into giving it another go. And we did that by making a hat, which I have no clue where that hat's gone to, so sorry I cannot show it to you, and matching gloves. Those I can show you. But wait, I still don't know what yarn it is. I believe she actually created this pattern, so there is no pattern to link to either. So this is just me showing you a little bit of my history, but giving you no details to follow up with. I did some cabling. But more importantly, I started my new addiction to circular knitting. And this one I actually did with dual circular needles. So yeah, big change there. And I guess as you can tell, they've been well loved, very well loved, and they have grown a bit. But I still wear them. And in fact, I just have another layer that I wear underneath them, but they still get worn all the time. I love them, because who can't work in a black, gray, and cream coloring into their winter wardrobe? Have you been to the Pacific Northwest? Our color is gray. So I'm going to go ahead and do this a little differently. I may not stay chronological just because I want to follow what makes sense. And what makes sense is that, nope, let's not do it that way, because I want to kind of tell you about what I learned. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm back. I swear to God, I had just opened that bottle of wine. Anyway, I'm just really excited to start this podcast because I've been trying to set up lighting for hours. All right. Anyways, back to it. Once again, unfortunately, it did not stick. So we're going to fast forward another 5-ish years to about 2 years ago when I was on a trip with some girls. And we're all sitting there playing games and, enjoying some lovely social time. Drink or 2. 3. Anywho, I noticed that one of the ladies was crocheting away and still being very social, enjoying whatever we were doing, but she had something to do with her hands. And it finally clicked to me. I'm a very fidgety person. If I'm not doing something with my hands or moving, then I'm going crazy. So there we go. That's what finally clicked. And so I raced home. Well, I enjoyed the rest of the weekend. But then I raced to the local yarn shop and I picked up some yarn to play with. I had heard somewhere on the internet that a good color to start with is light color on your needles. So I went with a very, very, very basic, I would say light grayish. Sure, it's not picking it up very well. But there is absolutely nothing special about this headband. This was just to get me comfortable again with working with the needles and help me dig out from the garage where I had stored said needles. Don't know what yarn this is. I'm sorry. I'm not promising I'm cool now either, but I try harder. I try. This is just your basic stockinette stitch and with a twist in before seaming it up. I don't wear this. My attention is all over the place. I do love it, and I've been keeping it to show in a podcast. So it tells you how long I've been thinking about starting the podcast. But now that I've shown it to the public and my dirty laundry has been aired out, I'm going to frog it because I still have the rest of this skein somewhere and I want to make a hat this color. So say hello and goodbye. Bye-bye. All right. Pause for the cause while I remember what I did next.
Please hold. My computer died.
Next up, I decided to make my mom a headband. This is a headband with a twist by Morella Moments. I made it with Cascade 220 in the color Iridescence. It is 100% Peruvian wool, worsted weight. It's a workhorse of a yarn. It's really held up. My mom wears this every single day during the winter. She's so cute. She has this cute little West Highland Terrier, and she lives over in this cute little small apartment off the coast, and she goes out there and she walks her little doggy and she throws on this and something else. Because guess what? I made her another set of those gloves with no pattern to beat. Remember, my friend made this. So a matching set. She's so cute just seeing her out there on the beach walking her little doggy and just so bundled up and cute and in knits that I made her, especially since she's the one who taught me to knit. So it's just, I love it. It's so cute. It's a beautiful yarn. It was a pleasure to work with. The pattern was great. This is a jump up from that other basic headband I did. This is an English rib with a twist. So you still got your twist and the seam is hidden within the twist. She loves it. She wears it all the time. All right, what is next? We're not quite done with that yarn that shall remain unnamed. I made myself one, what is this? This is a thicket headband. And this has mirrored cable. So once again, I was practicing my cabling again. I wear this all the time when I walk my 2 dogs. I have 2 little Aussies. They're adorable, and you will probably see them. And they will probably knock over a drink at some point and it won't be with their tail because they're Aussies, but it will be with their exuberance for life. But yeah, have I managed to put this on straight? Who knows? Love it though, and it's so comfy and it keeps my ears so warm, and yet it keeps my head free to have my bun up. And also, again, I mentioned I'm in the beginning stages of perimenopause. And so I like to not be completely hot all the time, especially during fall. Next up, I jumped up my game a bit and I decided to cast on the Hipster Shawl by Hohi Locatelli. And I used the yarn, did I do Blue Sky Fibers wool stock in the color Wild Thyme. There's some errors, but I absolutely love this. And one of the reasons I particularly, love this is that I made it while I was traveling around with 10 of my closest friends in Ireland, hence the color. And we all jumped into this little van and traveled all the way around Ireland and spent 10 days together and nobody killed each other. The whole time I was sitting in the back of the van, well, middle of the van because I do get car sick. So the middle of the van, and while we weren't looking at castles every 20 feet, I was knitting away on this. Unfortunately, I ran out of yarn, so I had to send it back to the US to wait for my arrival and get some more yarn back there. I had to save room for picking up other yarn while I was there. Come on, don't fault me. But I absolutely love this and the memories that come with it. And while I was knitting on this, my girlfriend got back her knitting bug too. So she was back there knitting with me. And it was fun. It was just fun also to be able to share a part of me with all of my friends. So, hipster shawl, Hohi Locatelli. So next was the Soho top. And I actually made it about 3/4 of the way. But then... and I still have PTSD over this. And it's no fault of the pattern, no fault of the yarn. It's just the yarn that I chose had no business being used for the pattern. Because I don't know if you guys know the Soho top, but the yarn I chose was 100% wool. And I tried to hold it double, and that thing could stand on its own. And it also was big. So I had to frog that, and I had gone so far with it, I just needed a break from it. So technically, the Soho top was next. But I did not finish it and I frogged it. We'll revisit it, but not at this very moment in time. Hey, remember that husband I was mentioning earlier in my get to know me story? So he's been wanting a hat for a while, and I've tried to be the good little whiffy, and I have made him the same hat 3 times, and each time has been a no-go. This last time, because I was kind of bored of making the same pattern, I even stepped things up a little bit and held it with mohair. Pattern is the Staggered Hat by Woolly Wormhead. Spelled worm. Woolly Wormhead. This is Madeline Tosh DK in a color that I'm going to destroy, and so I'm not going to try it. Held with Knitting for Olive Deep Petroleum mohair. She uses the knits to raise a staggered design along the brim, and then the rest of the hat is knit with purls. So for all you people out there who don't like purling, this may not be the pattern for you, but I really enjoyed it. You probably could also just reverse the pattern, and that way you're knitting more than you're purling. Needless to say, this once again did not fit him. So now it would appear that I have a new hat, which I'm not upset about. I like it. And it's the perfect size for me. I don't know why I thought it would fit him since it's the perfect size for me. In the meantime, we have discovered that he has a bit of a sensitivity to wool. So regardless, I can't make him a hat with mohair, I don't believe. So I'm going to try to just do straight superwash and see how that goes. I'm also going to try to make him a hat that fits his head. But come on, guys, details. One day at a time. So anyways, Staggered Hat by Woolly Wormhead. Like it. It's a good pattern. All right, let's just go ahead and stick with the hats for a little bit. So next up, remember that lovely lady I mentioned I went traveling around Ireland with? I go down and see her in Portland about 4 times a year. One of the weekends we went down, we decided to have a little crafting time as well. And so we looked at patterns together, and we picked a nice easy pattern that would take about 4 or 5 hours to complete. And we went with the Perky Little Hat with designer Sharon Magnuson Lynch. We used the suggested yarn, which is Malabrigo Rasta, and this is the color Carousel? Yes, Carousel. It's just a fun little pattern. We had some struggles. It took us a couple tries. There was some laughter and some swear words, and might have been a drink or two, but we got it done. And we unfortunately didn't knit the crown long enough, and so it's a little short for us. But I really love mine. I still wear mine a ton. So, yeah. Again, if I could just, and I can do this, I have yarn left over, just add a little extra oomph up here. I don't want too much. I don't like a ton of room up here, but I would like a little bit more. That way when I can still have some room here, but also have my ears completely covered. So nice and toasty, so. And it's got, hello. Who doesn't love this? So, So yeah, this was a fun little project with lots of good memories with my girlfriend down in Portland, and yeah, perky little hat. We're gonna go ahead and go to another hat that was knit right around the same time as the perky little hat. This is a pattern by Andrea Mowry, and it is the Traveler hat. The yarn I used is Malabrigo Rios in the color Gemini. I found this yarn while I was doing our slow crawl, our local yarn shop crawl, and I fell in love with it. And I love the pattern too. This pink is just amazing though. It's like a pink and an orangey variegated yarn. It's 100% superwash worsted weight and merino. Love it. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of superwash, but you know, really shows off the dye really nicely. Speaking of which, this is actually the hat that got me going deep down the rabbit hole of dyeing my own yarn and fiber, because I also spin as well, and there'll be a little bit of that sprinkled in this podcast, but for right now we're just going to focus on the knitting. But yeah, so I love this. I wear it a ton in the wintertime and the fall. It's a nice lightweight hat, so actually I can wear it in the fall and early spring. I'm probably going to make myself some gloves, because you know that's my version of sock knitting, so I'll probably make myself some matching gloves. But again, this is the Traveler hat by Andrea Mowry. All right, next we're going to take a journey back to gloves, and that's to the Welted Fingerless Gloves by Church Mouse Yarn and Tees. I have to say, I really love this pattern. I love the detailing on the thumb gusset. I love the welted look at the cuff, which is just so cute. And I actually I was down in Portland, Oregon for a holiday bazaar, and there was one tiny little stall where someone was selling a little bit of yarn, and so I had to support her. So I went ahead and I picked up a bundle. I'm sorry, I looked at the package. There is no colorway, so I cannot tell you that, but I can tell you about the dyer, and it is Yarn Arky, and this is a hand-dyed merino DK. I actually looked her up when I got home, and it was kind of funny because somehow, even when I was down in Portland, I managed to support a very local dyer to me. She's only about 40 minutes away from me, so that was kind of cool to find out after the fact. Highly suggest the pattern. It's really cute. I may actually go and put some buttons just for a little something extra. So again, the Welted Fingerless Gloves. So next up, I started to dive into the world of garments successfully. Let's just disregard the Soho top incident. And I casted on and completed the Kadri Leela top. The intention was for me to complete this prior to Flockfest 2024, but it didn't happen. But the yarn I chose to use is Juniper Moon Farm Summer Solstice in the color Sunset. All right, guys, let's be real here. In the color Sunset, this is a 48% linen, 24% cotton, 24% viscose, and 4% polyester. And it has a bit of a tweedy nature to it. I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up. This was my first time doing an I-cord. I found it was fine. No problems there. These ridges that are just done with pro bumps, rows of pro bumps. So it's really cute. It's a bit big on me, but nothing a French tuck can't fix. So again, the Leela top by Kadri. So I once again made the Soho top by Kadri. This time I used the suggested yarn, which is Pearl Soho Sweetgrass in the color Heirloom White. I do like it. I like it a lot. For some reason, this garter stitch pattern makes me feel a little broad when I put it on, but I like it. I like it underneath cardigans. It's great for under cardigans, so it's going to be a great staple in the wardrobe. I kind of want to try it again, but this time maybe not hold something double so it has a little less structure and a little more drape. But other than that, it's a great pattern. It's a great beginner pattern, especially when you choose the right yarn to use. So be careful of yarn substitutions. Learn from me. But yeah, so once again, this is the Soho top by Kadri. So next I cast on one of my all-time favorites, and it is a Andrea Mowry, The Big Cozy Cardi. Guys, I'm just keeping my glasses on because I can't read my book without it. And let's get real, I wear them all the time. I'm getting older, my vision isn't as great. I love this thing. I will definitely insert some more footage of it here because I can't give this thing justice here. This was a slog of a knit. Anyone who's knit this knows that when you get done with this rectangular portion and you're like, woohoo, I'm almost done, I just have the collar to do. No, the collar takes much longer. I mean, this is a Surrey silk and it's 13 inches of Surrey silk. So yes. A little bit about the yarn I used. I use the Rerum Natura in Ulysses. Durera Natura, and I used the. All right, this is gonna be a thing. And the yarn I used was Durerum Natura Ulysses, yes. For the collar, I took a little piece of Andrea Mowry's book and actually did it with Farmer's Daughter, Oh Dang, in the same colorway she used, which was Mr. Pocket. So I did go with a different yarn than what she called for the body of the cardigan, but did go with the same color. This color was just to die for. So this is worn all over, all the time. And I especially love wearing it in the mornings when I'm knitting or spinning by the fire. And it's great for around here in the Pacific Northwest when you have a chilly evening and you just want to throw something on. Instead of a blanket over your lap, you can throw this on. I highly recommend this knit. Just be prepared. It is a slog, but love it. Anything else I want to say about that before we move on? Okay, first time for me on the Big Cozy. This was the first time I did a German twisted cast on. It was the first time I did a mattress stitch, which didn't go so badly. I actually enjoyed it. And then I also did the Icelandic bind off with this pattern. It's a great pattern with some leveling up in it, but I really enjoyed knitting it. I started the Big Cozy before the Leela top, but I didn't I cast on March. I tried to do this with one of Andrea Mowry's knit-alongs, and I did not make the timeline. But somewhere in March, and I didn't cast off till the following January. So this one took a little while. It did go on hibernation during summer. So I actually decided for my next project to join a knitting class at my local yarn store. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't starting any bad habits that could easily be corrected and not carry through all my garments moving forward. Also, I just really wanted the opportunity to meet other knitters. I don't know a lot of knitters around me, so I wanted to meet some other knitters. So I joined my first sweater class, and it was amazing. I learned so much, and the teacher was absolutely amazing. Chris, you rocked it. Thank you so much. I had so much fun. All of the girls in the class were so great to get to know, and yeah, it was really fun. So we had several options, and I went with the No Frills sweater by Petite Knit. And I used Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Copper, and Madeline Tosh Impression Life on Mars, which is the mohair silk. And it just, came up with this adorable marled pattern, and it's just so perfect for fall. I can't tell you what a difference it makes to learn how to gauge properly and actually figure out your sizing based on your gauge if you don't hit gauge, but you still want to move forward with your material that you're using in your yarn combination. So yeah, this fits. Unlike the Cozy Cardi, which is probably one size bigger than I intended. It definitely is one size bigger than I intended, but it's a Cozy Cardi, so it doesn't have as big of an effect. But this fits really well. I did learn that I don't like as much positive ease as I thought I would, but nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong with this pattern. This is Petite Knit. Come on, there's nothing wrong with it. She writes nice, clear, concise patterns, so very easy to follow. The material is amazing. I do prefer a Surrey to a mohair, but it's not that I can't put up with it. I just prefer it. This was my first foray into German short rows. I love them. I had fun with them. The only thing I noticed was some delineation in the colorway from going from knitting flat, but you can't see it. It's on the back, and I have long hair. and you can't see it. So that's it. And then I had one little oopsie right up front, right up front and center, where I don't know what I did. I was like, let's get real big with our stitch. So, and didn't notice it until I was, whatever. I love it. And it's my first sweater. So, you know, there's just something about that. I mean, I know I knit the cardigan, but the cardigan wasn't done yet, technically. So this is my first sweater. Let's see, what else are first with that pattern? I did an Italian tubular cast on. I can't remember if I've done that before, but that was a first at the time I did it. And I did learn a nifty trick from Patty Lyons to use scrap yarn to avoid it twisting, especially with that many stitches. So I will link that video down below because it really, really, really helped me. And it was a very frustrating cast on I was a newer knitter. I still think it's a frustrating cast on, and I still use the scrap yarn. I also learned to pick up my dropped make one increases because there was some missed or dropped. I will definitely link that video because that was a lifesaver. Again, going back to Patty Lyons, I think it's Lyons, resolving the double stitch on your German short rows so that you don't have a gap. I highly suggest her book, the knitting workbook or something. I'll also link that. I think that's most of the highlights. Again, the no frill sweater, petite knit, great pattern. Next, I was extremely lucky to have stumbled upon a class offered by Ann Budd for top-down circular yoke sweaters. Using her book, I will link that below, we figured out our gauge with whatever yarn we wanted to use and then adjust the pattern accordingly. She walks you through all of it. She is an amazing teacher. If you can take a class from Ann Budd, do it. Do yourself a favor. She's amazing. She's also just a joy to be around. I also was very lucky and got to hang out with her at a knitting retreat in Port Townsend, and she's just lovely. So I knit this with Cascade 220 in the colorway Jet. Nothing special, but this is my first yoke sweater. I love it. I was a little nervous because I'd heard so many people don't like the fit of a circular yoke sweater. I actually really do enjoy it on. And I capped my sleeves just because I wanted to. Which was a choice. You were able to choose how you wanted to do your sleeves, your bottom, your collar, everything. And she just walks you through it. The book is just amazing. Highly suggest it. And again, if you can take a class from Ann Budd, do yourself a favor and do. She's amazing. Let's see if there's any other things I want to say. She taught, this is the first time I've used waist shaping, and what a difference. Yeah, so I just learned so much, and I'm really excited to wear this. So my last pattern of note is a summer knit, and it is the Camisole number 7 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I just finished this, so please ignore the fact that the ends aren't woven in, because, but I wanted to make its debut on my episode number 1. I knit this in Knitting for All of Pure Silk in the colorway Cream. I really enjoyed this. Really put my skills to the test because this is a bit of a splittier yarn, I would say. I still liked working with it, but you have to be careful about being stabby. That brings us to the end of this podcast. This was really a lot of fun. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me if you made it all the way to the end. And, say hi, drop in the comments, say hi. Would love to hear from you. Would love to hear what you've been working on. I don't know, fun stories about mess ups you made along the way. I'd love to hear about them. I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Again, this was really fun, so thanks for putting up with me, and hopefully you guys don't mind if I come back and say hi again. Take care. Cheers.